Hey everybody, I'm out in the boat shed getting ready for another trip tomorrow. I had a great trip this morning. Started out doing some striper fishing and finished up with some crappie fishing and had success at both. So it was a great day. One of the things this time of year that a person can use to help them catch crappies is a slip float. After the spawn and after they kind of do their thing and start resting up, they'll gather out on deeper brush in what I call a summertime pattern. They'll just get on the brush and just feed and rest or whatever they're doing. Maybe brush gives them some protection or whatever, or they find comfort there, and they'll hang out on that brush for a while. And the easiest way to catch them, I think, is with a slip float and a minnow. Anybody can do that. You know, the youngest kids can watch a bobber go under and know that a fish is on there and jerk and start winding it in. So a slip float with a minnow is a great way to catch a crappie. So here is a slip float, and of course below that is a split shot or two, whatever it takes to make that line slip through the float, and a hook. So as the name implies, your line will slip through that float. You've cast it out, and the weight is sinking, and that line will continue to sink until it gets to something that will stop it, referred to as a bobber stop. And that's my bobber stop, what I tie. Now there's lots of different kinds of bobber stops. You can buy them, you can make them, but this is what I've landed on to use, and it's worked well for me, and I thought I would share how to tie this up. So let's tie up a few of them. One thing about bobber stops in general, you can use just about anything to tie it. And in fact, when I started using bobber stops many years ago, I would just tie a rubber band around the fishing line, and that would work. It would work for just a little while, and then of course the rubber band would break or come off or whatever, and I would lose it. So over the course of time, I just started tying something that worked for me, and it's fairly easy to tie. As far as the material, what I've settled on is it's actually a piece of braided line. I have a spool of really big braided line, and this happens to be yellow, which makes it easier to see. But just anything will work. So experiment with what you're using as a piece of string to tie this with, and you'll come up with something that works for you. So here I have two hollow coffee stirrers. Any small straw will work. The smaller the better, and you'll see why in a few minutes, but just two of them put together. So take your string you're going to use, lay it on there, then turn over the line, going back toward where you started. About 5 loops. 3, 4, and there's 5. Now, where those two straws come together, there's a little groove. Put the tag end of that line under those loops you just made and through that knot. Boy, videotaping this one is not going to be the easiest thing to do. Send it right through that groove and pull your tag end the other side. So you've got that little knot right on those two straws. Now, slip one of the straws out, cinch that knot down, trying to keep your loops as even and level as possible. And there you have it, a little knot on the straw. Clip your ends not real close, and you've got a straw with a knot on it. So you can slide that down to the end, clip off your straw, throw that in your tackle box or whatever, and you're ready to put that on your line. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. So let me tie one more real quick. 2 straws. Okay, let me try this one more time with a different angle here. Maybe I can get this on video better. So I've got my 2 coffee stirrers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wraps. Send this right through that groove there. take out one of the stirrers, cinch that down, just like that, and there it is. Flip those off, clip the coffee stirrer, ready to install. If you take up slip float fishing, one of the things you'll notice is when you reel in a fish, oftentimes that slip knot will not necessarily hang up, but slide on your line when it gets to one of the eyes on your rod. What's happening is the fish is putting tension, of course, on the eye, and then when that slip knot reaches that, it might slide a little bit. So I suggest that you check your depth often, and especially after you catch a fish. So I've re-rigged this rod. It needed a little line, so I've added some line. And so what I've got here, I've got the hook, a couple of split shots, the bobber, and the bobber stop we just made. You'll recall when I told you to use 2 coffee stirrers or similar small straws, the coffee stirrers needed to be hollow, and that's so you could run your line right through the coffee stirrer. So you could make up several of these, throw them in your tackle box, and when you need one, it's ready to go. So now, the only thing left to do is set the depth. So this is roughly a foot. Tomorrow morning we're going to start out fishing about 8 feet. So I want to set this 8 feet up the line. So 8 feet of the line will pass through the bobber. When it hits, it will stop. You'll be fishing 8 feet deep. So there's about a foot. So there's down to 7. There's about 8 feet. Maybe a little more. About 8 feet deep. So now, all we need to do is slip that coffee stirrer, the string, actually the knot, off of the coffee stirrer. It'll be on the line. Now, just easily, slowly snug that down, and you've got a bobber stop. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you find that useful, the slip knot bobber stop, and put that to work for you. Bobber fishing is a great way to catch crappie, especially in the summertime. My camera shut off right there at the end. Everything was basically finished except for the fact you still have that straw on the line. Well, if you put that on and then tie your bobber, tie your hook and put your split shots and all that before you put the knot where it belongs, then you've got to deal with that straw. What I do is take scissors and just carefully insert the tip of one of the sides of the scissors up in that hole of the straw and just clip it and then pop it off the line. An easier way to do it, especially when you're rigging for the first time, is to just put that bobber stop on there, set the depth where you want it, slip the knot off of the straw onto the line, get it where it needs to be, and then pull the straw off the line, tie everything else on there. So hope you're having a great day today. The fishing was great today and looks like it's going to be good for a while. Come go fishing with me.